guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys all of the mares and all of the geldings and stallions in the barn and telling you guys if they are lesson horses, if they're my personal horses, and if you could lease them and stuff like that. And I'm also going to be announcing the barn name because I finally have figured out what the barn is going to be named and stuff like that. So let's get right into this video. So if you are wondering what is the barn name, that I have finally figured out. So I have been thinking about figuring out a very nice barn name that fits my actual name and you guys as subscribers to kind of have it all be together into what my last part of my name is. So my last part of my name is Water Beach, and you guys are called the Coral Squad. So I kind of just put things together, and all of a sudden the name Pearl came to mind. So this is the Pearl Equestrian Center, or known as the PEC, and I am very proud to finally have a name and to have this beautiful barn and all of these horses in it. So let's get started with showing you guys all of the mares in the program and personal horses and horses that you could possibly lease. So the first horse is my personal mare. This was the first ever horse that I showed on this channel. This is Miss Star, and she is right now currently coming back into work from an injury that she had, a ligament injury, and it was an injury that could have been career ending, and it was a really sad day when she did do it, and it's been some rough couple of weeks and months, and she has finally got the thumbs up to start going back into work. So you will be seeing some videos with her again. And we have my next mare, and she is new to the barn. This is Miss Pearl, and she is new to the barn, and I've recently been training her in jumping and stuff. And if you don't know, Miss Pearl is actually my beautiful boy Sully. This is Sully's twin sister, born a month after he was born, so they are literally only a month apart from each other, and she is 9, Sully is 10, and yeah, so she's going to be 10 very soon. Her birthday is coming up soon, so that is very exciting. The next mare that I bought for myself is Miss Pumpkin, and she is my barrel racing jumping mare, and I don't really ride her as much as I used to. So yeah, I'm just going to tell you guys all of the horses' names and if they're like mine, and then we can go back and kind of say more detail on them. The next mare that I bought was this beautiful mare, and she is insane. So this is my first ever smaller breed of horse that I bought, and her name is Sunny, or Summer, which is what I call her, and she's insane. She has a jump on her for sure. Then we have Lucky Rose, or known as Rose, and she is definitely one of the fun ones in the program, and she is a goofball too. Then we have one of our newer pony breeds that I've recently purchased. This is Miss May, and I haven't ridden her yet in the program, but she is in the program for our younger students. Then on the other side, we have, this is a new off-the-track thoroughbred mare that I've purchased, and I recently found out that this mare isn't from the same mom as all 4 of my horses that I have that are off the track thoroughbreds. This is the same dad as Chester, Sully, Pearl and Dean. The same dad, but just a different mom. So this is a half sibling for all of those four. And I am so unbelievably happy that I was able to find this mare. This mare is only a 4-year-old, so she is new in this barn and new with me training her. The only thing that they did to her was just starting her under saddle, and she did do some stuff with doing track and stuff like that, but she's a little antsy right now because this is the second time she's been in a stall inside the barn, because normally she's outside. Then we have this mare, Miss Bear, or known as Honey Bear, and she is also new to the barn, and she is I think she's 5, so she's also on the younger side. I have a lot of project horses for the program, and it's taking me a little bit to figure out if they're going to be in the program or not. Then we have Miss B, or known as Honey Bee, and Miss B is blind in both of her eyes, and she's a project in herself, and she is also a personal horse because I don't feel comfortable having a student have a horse that can't see out of both of their eyes and stuff like that. And she is a fun horse to have. Then we have Miss Belle, and she is in the program, and she is not blind in either one of her eyes, and she is quite fun to have. Then we go down here to our next 4 horses and our last 4. We have Miss Daisy Girl, or known as Daisy, and she is I think she's 10 years old, and she is pretty experienced with riding with younger students and older students, so she is good in both categories. She's actually good for all students, so she's actually quite nice. Then we have Opal, and she was lame in the last video that I did with her, and she recently just started getting back into work and is doing a lot better than she was. Then we go down here to where Miss Cookie is. I think Cookie's on, yeah, Cookie is right here. So this is Miss Cookie, and she is not lame, surprisingly. Recently, she has been showing up like she feels lame, but every time she gets a checkup, they say she's not lame, she's perfectly sound. So she has been kind of confusing right now. So she is in the program, but she's not getting ridden currently because I don't know what is going on with her. So, but this is Miss Cookie. She is 9. So yeah, and she is a pony. Then we have our oldest mare. She is 19, and she is our Giraffe girl. This is Blue Diamond, or known as Diamond. I almost called her Blue, but this is Miss Diamond, and she is our oldest mare out of all of the mares. So I will be showing all of the mares on screen and all of their heights, ages, and if they're in the program or not. And you'll be seeing all of that after I'm done talking, and then we will see all of the boys, even the stallions. Okay, so now we have all of the geldings and stallions in the barn, and all of the mares are out except for one because I'm going to be riding her soon, so she has to stay inside. So here we have, I have to change this plaque. People keep, like, some of my students like to change his plaque, and I have a custom flag for a horse that has passed away, and this is the plaque, and people like to change his plaque. It's so annoying. But this is Chester. Then we have Sully, and these two are brothers. Chester is a stallion, and he has a daughter, and she is with my sister. And he is 13. So he's our oldest stallion. Then we have Mr. Selly, and he is 10. And then we go over this way, and we have Mr. Bear, and he has an actual name, but I always just call him Bear. So you guys could just call him Bear if you want, but his actual name is Banksy, but I call him Bear. So, but yeah, this is Banksy, and he is in the program. Then we have Mr. Ghost, and he is blind in one of his eyes, and he is a personal horse because I have both of my two newer horses for myself are both blind, and then I also have Pearl, which I have so many horses that are personal right now that are eventually going to be on the program. Then we have Woody, and he is a baby, but he is in the program for any advanced students that want to ride a baby horse that is pretty much finished. He loves jumping though. That is one of his favorite things ever. And then we have Big Red, are known as Chase, and he is here. And this is Woody's dad, so he's a stallion. Well, he was a stallion, he is now a gelding. So same with Woody, he is also a gelding now. Then we have Dean, and he is here. This is the youngest sibling out of Sully and Chester. This is their little brother and full siblings. And then we have, I can't remember your name. Diz? I think I named you Daz. You are, I can't remember how old some of these guys are because I haven't like written down. I have it written down somewhere, but I forgot where I put the piece of paper. So, and it doesn't help that like you have like so many people around sometimes, and sometimes people like taking things and throwing them away. So, but this is Daz, and I think he's also 13, but I could be wrong. Then we have Sky, and he is 6, and he's a draft boy. Then we have Big Boy, or known as Hank, and he is 9. And when I said this in the last time I showed him, when I first rode him, he was a 5-year-old, and he was amazing. So, I'm still so happy that I have this boy. This is one of the draftees that I ride a lot. And then we go down here, and we have Kingsley, my draft boy. Not my draft boy, my Frisian boy. And he is a stallion, and he does corsage. He doesn't do jumping at all, but I do kind of want to try him over some poles, some crossrails or something, because I think that would be fun. But yeah, and then we have Coco, and he is here and living life, and he is, I want to say 6, but I have no clue if he is 6 or not. But yeah, here's this boy. I've owned him for a little bit now, and he is quite nice. And then we have our last 2 boys down here besides Pearl. We have Rolo, or known as Red, and he is our pony, and he is, I think he's 11. I've had him for a while. And then we have Clover, and he is also up there in age as well. But he is still pretty young. I think he's like 9 or 10. So he's still pretty young, and he's also in the lesson program. I'm going to take Miss Pearl out, and I'm also going to be putting all the boys back out because there's not supposed to be any horses in the barn right now. All of the horses are supposed to be out in pasture today, because I'm supposed to do a deep clean of all of the stalls and really sanitize all of them. And I was going to touch up like paint and stuff like that just because I am opening up the program soon. And I'm pre-recording some videos right now. And getting a bunch of stuff done. And then after this video is out, I have like a huge like thing that I'm doing for the program as well. So it's just a lot of stuff that I'm doing right now. And if you were wondering, Pearl is the inspiration for the Pearl Equestrian Center, and I'm just so happy that I was able to get this mare. And this mare has had 3 owners. The first owner was an older lady. The second owner was a younger woman that just did jumping with her. And the older lady got her when she was, I think, 5 and couldn't really handle her. And then the second person that got her, she got her when she was 7, which was the same age I got Sully, and did a bunch of jumping and really helped her with her career and making her a lot stronger and more confident in her riding. And then I got her and have been doing a lot of stuff with her, and she's now 9 and going on 10, which is insane that I have the twins. I have the twins, and I've been thinking about getting this mare. Ooh, getting this mare for a really long time, and I've been wanting this mare for a while, and she is stunning, so beautiful, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I will be showing you guys all of the stuff for the boys now. And then when you guys come back, I should be on Miss Pearl riding her around for a little bit because I have to do some some flat work with her. And maybe some poles, but I haven't really decided on what I'm doing. I just know I have to do some flat work with her. So here I am walking her out to be able to get on her, and she was doing really good with just me walking her around and there being people around, and she was just doing really good. And this is like her 4th day being here and our 3rd ride, because I had 2 trial rides on her and then her first ride here, because she had 3 days of just relaxing and like getting used to her environment. So yeah, I haven't actually owned Pearl for as long as you guys would probably think, but she is such a nice mare. Like, it's unbelievable how nice this mare is. So I am just taking her to the arena. And when we get to the arena, I'm going to just make sure everything looks good and her girth looks good, my stirrup length looks good, her bridle looks all good. I'm just doing all of my prep steps to make sure everything looks all good. And we're just doing a flat ride for her first ride because I don't want to do straight jumping and stuff like that for our first ride. So I'm just gonna just do a nice flat little ride on her in the arena, kind of just get her used to going out into this arena and stuff like that. So I'm going to get up on her and stuff like that. So I just got up on her and I just have her just stand there for a little bit, and that way I can just make sure everything looks good. I have her look around and make sure everything looks good and just have her stand, and then I ask her to walk on, and she did a really good job with doing that and my cues and telling her to start moving. just making sure that she knows that when I get on, I don't just immediately walk off. And her old owner kind of taught her just to walk off, and I kind of didn't like that because a lot of my newer horses, the younger ones, they like to do that. So I've been teaching them to not do that as much, because I do have, like, with newer students and stuff like that, a lot of horses like to just walk off when the student gets up on them, and I don't like when that happens. So I like to teach my horses, especially when they're still pretty young or just getting back into riding. I like to just reteach them that walking off is not really that fun for the rider, for sure, because sometimes you gotta check a lot of different things before you start moving. So I just walk her around for a little bit until I end up wanting to have her start trotting and making sure that she's all nice and loose and comfortable with being in the arena. So here I asked her to go a little bit faster in her walk, and she took that as a sign to start trotting, and I did not think that that was going to happen. So I didn't do any rising trot because I didn't think she was going to trot. So here I am just sitting there, and I slowly ask her to go back down to a walk, and she does go back down to the walk, which was really good. And I asked her to go a little bit faster again, and she did listen and was doing really good with that. And with that, I asked her to stop at H, and I just had her stand there for a second, catch her breath, and to tell her that that was a good job and she did really good. And I gave her a nice pat and tell her that she did really good. So then I asked her to transition to a trot from a halt, and she did really good. And I love the way she moves in her trot, and she just did really good overall and doing the trot and stuff like that. Then I asked her to canter, which was probably the biggest mistake ever, but I asked her to canter, and it was kind of all sloppy. So she was going up and down in her canter and getting slower and getting faster. And I didn't know why she was doing this. And that's when I found out that her old owner, her first previous owner, used to tell her to go fast and go slow to get kind of the up and down transitions in her flying lead changes. And I didn't know why that her old first owner did that, but I decided to work on our cantering after I did some more trotting and some sitting trot, because she does do corsage. That was her first ever discipline that she got taught when she was super duper little. And her mom um is a world champion in corsage, so she, like, did that. And same with Dean, they're both supposed to be doing that, but um they came to me and I like doing everything. So um I have decided to canter right here, and she did really good. I was telling her to just stay at one speed and was really concentrating on making her stay at this one consistent speed. And then I asked her to go up a little, and she yeeted me almost out of the saddle when she went. And I could definitely tell she has some show jumping discipline in her, because she liked going fast for sure, and she definitely had that demeanor to her. So I slowed her up and got her back down to that nice consistent speed, and she was doing really good. So I gave her a nice circle and kind of changed direction, and she did really good. And I was really happy with how she was going, and it was really nice. So I kind of asked her to go back down to a nice rising trot, and nice speedy trot basically, because she was still raring to go. And I ended up taking her out onto our cross country trail just to kind of see how she would do with some jumps, because I haven't really jumped her at all, like not even in our trial rides I jumped her, but it was still pretty warm out because the snow has melted, there's no more snow, and she's just kind of over the sun and being out in the sun. Since she is a Cromello, she is more sensitive to the sun and stuff like that, so she just was over doing the jumping and dressage and everything. So I got off of her and I cooled her off, and afterwards I put her back inside because she's the one that doesn't really go outside that much. When she does go outside, it's at night, and it's kind of sad that she's the only one that doesn't really go out during the day. The only time she does is if I have a lesson with her or I'm riding her, and that's really the only time she's really out. So I put her back inside, and she does go out into the main part of this part of the barn, and she does go out here and she just relaxes inside, and she's still able to have the outside smell, I guess you could say, but she loves it in this barn. Like, she just is obsessed with it, like, it's insane. So afterwards, I groom her and get her all cleaned up, and then I am done. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video with all of these horses. So yeah, bye.